Traktor Z1 MK2. Slick, simple, portable and user-friendly. But is it enough? Well, I have questions. Let's quickly go through all the features this unit has, and I'll give you my thoughts right after it. 2 up faders with medium tension and a loose crossfader. Mixer effects section that came from S4 MK3. More on that later. 3 band EQs as well as the mix and headphones output level knobs. OLED screens that are exactly the same as an X1 MK3. These allow you to see currently controlled parameters on each deck as well as mixer effect. Speaking of decks, this button at the top allows you to switch between controlling decks A and B and C and D, using software takeover, of course. Not a big fan of switching, but hey, some people might need it. The topmost buttons are used to switch between EQ and stems mode. In stems mode, each of the 4 knobs becomes individual stems volume control, but you also effectively lose control over your gain. Coming back to the mixer effects section, just as on the S4 MK3, S2 or S3, you can select up to 5 mixer effects. All of the buttons, except these 4, can be easily remapped using Z1 MK2 menu in Traktor preferences. Additionally, the filter select button can be changed to become shift, unlocking further mappings in the preferences. Speaking of mapping, Z1 MK2 can be switched to MIDI mode by holding the filter button and pressing the middle button at the top. On the bottom of the unit, you have LEDs, just like on the X1 MK3. But this time, plastic has got matte finish instead of being transparent. Functions for these LEDs are also the same. They inform about track finish by flashing red, identify active loop by being green, and lastly, show if the track is out of sync. Though when placed next to the X1 MK3, it brings confusion. Since both flash at the same time, you would probably want to disable the slide notifications and settle for the static look on your Z1. Wish the X1 and Z1 understood they work together, and the joint section was disabled when used in such scenario. Both LEDs as well as button colors can be changed in Traktor preferences in the same fashion as on the X1 MK3. In terms of inputs, there are none. You cannot connect a microphone or phone, for example. As for the outputs, 1 aux on the front for the headphones and 2 outputs on the back. Your standard RCA and a new addition, aux master. Volume of the last 2 is controlled simultaneously. Whew. Now that the list is complete, I will give you my thoughts. First, let's start with what is good. Aux master output at the back, very nice addition, given that this controller is meant as a portable solution. Convenient to connect to something like a JBL speaker. Secondly, the proper mixer effect section is finally the same as on the S4 MK3. Lastly, I really like it for what it is. Portable Traktor mixer with familiar mixer effects controls and stylish design. Now, before we go into the controversies of this unit, let's distill who is this controller for. I've been scratching my head for the last few days to figure it out. 1, it's not for beginners. Why, you might say? Firstly, it's 250 euros. When you're a beginner, it's best to learn with proper decks layout and jogs to do beat matching. And within this market segment, you have options like Traktor S2 for around 300 euros, Pioneer Flex 4 for around 300 as well, and a bunch of other brands with amazing feature sets that are even cheaper. Buying those instead of Z1 MK2 is an obvious decision for somebody just starting out. Second, it is for somebody with a decent budget. You just have to have an X1 next to it. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. Z1 by itself is just a mixer, and you need an X1 to actually do all the transport controls. Of course, you can use a computer keyboard for this, but come on, nobody does it. So now you're in a 500 euros plus territory. which is more expensive than even 450 euros S3 from Traktor, and a bunch of other medium price controllers on the market. This brings me to the third point. It is for somebody looking for the ultimate portability without sacrificing features. Or for somebody who has an X1 to DJ in the club with Pioneer DJM mixer and then just wants a small Z1 to practice at home. Though realistically, I doubt it because muscle memory is not easy to replace. Therefore, training on different setups is challenging. Coming back to portability, it's perfect for someone who wants to have the exactly same setup everywhere and ensure maximum compactness. For example, I'm traveling everywhere with my S4 Mark III for my DJ gigs. But if I was just hobbying around, then taking Z1 and X1 for vacation for some sunset mixes would be an ideal option. It doesn't require power outlet and fits great in the backpack. Finalizing, Z1 Mark II is for medium to experienced Traktor DJs who are looking for the most compact and powerful setup, no matter the cost, and who already own or want to buy an X1 Mark III. Keep this picture in mind as we are going to uncover things that bring confusion, at least in my head. Portability. If this unit is for DJs looking to ultimate portability, then why make it unnecessarily larger? Same applies to X1 Mark III, by the way. Stems controls. Since this unit has dedicated stems mode, I honestly don't find it comfortable. Knobs are too stiff to quickly turn stems on and off, and you also need to rotate them all the way to the right to go 100%. I much prefer the solution implemented by other DJ software like Virtual DJ, where stems are controlled similar to EQ, where the middle position represents 100%. It feels like a missed opportunity to add a set of buttons on each side to control stems on and off, as well as stems effect sense. In the meantime, I will continue to use X1 Mark III stems mapping, which I demonstrate in the Z1 Mark II performance video released at the same time as this one. No microphone input. Given that this device is not cheap and is marketed as a mixer for professionals, why doesn't it have a microphone input? Cables. Unit comes with USB-B to USB-A cable, but there is no secondary cable from USB-B to USB-C. It is confusing since every Apple laptop since 2016, for example, uses USB-C exclusively and doesn't have USB-A. And according to Digital DJ Tips 2024 census, almost half of the DJs use Mac. Mixer effects. These were introduced in 2018 with S4 Mark III. 6 years later, and we finally see them coming to Z1. Long-awaited arrival. The only thing that bothers me is that given hardware release cadences, it probably also means that Traktor doesn't envision any new software features to enhance mixer effects in the near future. For example, adding a parameter knob similar to DJM mixers. It is not in Traktor's fashion to release a product that would cover today's needs while knowing it will be replaced soon. Wish I'm wrong. Apparently Z1 was released in 2013, which is 11 years ago. Honestly, I can only think of Xon K2 and the new Reloop Mixture Pro. First one doesn't have a zero position click on the knobs. As for the Reloop Mixture Pro, I honestly love the design decisions taken by them. It's even more portable than X1 and Z1 combined and gives a very decent feature set. Quite costly, 450 euros, but again, if we recall the target audience, it's actually great. Wish it was Traktor who released this product or something similar. According to the 2024 DJ census from Digital DJ Tips, released in February 2024, Traktor has about 10% of the market share, while Serato and Rekordbox dominate the market with more than 30% each. For Traktor to gain its previous glory and market share, they have to make bolder moves. Z1 Mark II is a very safe move. Bring what works from the S4 Mark III and call it a day. It just feels like Traktor has forgotten its roots, its dreams. It's no longer the same Traktor that released S5, S8 and D2. Not the same Traktor who introduced stems for the first time in the market. Not the same Traktor who developed capacitive knobs and insane mapping capabilities. With so much new tech and innovation around us, like buttons having actual displays under them, Z1 just isn't it. And it might be harsh to say, but don't get me wrong, I like Traktor. I tried various DJ software and still came back to Traktor. To me, it's the software that does it all if used in the right hands. Traktor is like an airplane. You can precisely control everything, or like a DAW, where you can configure everything exactly to your liking and tweak every little part of your mix. No other DJ software provides this level of details. But what once was revolutionary now becomes a very childhood dream. This is just a mixer, and if you look at everything that is available on the market, it's a nice piece of gear with a good build quality and good enough features. Community is full of feature ideas. Be open, discuss, and create something extraordinary that everybody will be proud of. In conclusion, Z1 MK2 offers powerful features in a compact form, and it's a welcome update for those who want portable, streamlined setup. I am excited to see what Traktor will innovate next. And while it might not bring attention of long-time Traktor users because of the shiny or revolutionary new features, it does indeed upgrade Z1 to the latest design and feature language of Traktor Pro, which many will appreciate. I will certainly use it for cases when I'm off the grid and still want to enjoy playing with Traktor. Just like in this performance video, which you can watch right after this one. That's been it. I still love Traktor. Just wish they had their user dreams come true. Peace.